It's all you. All right, everybody.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a little bit of magic, and no good magic trick is complete without an assistant. So we have Molly here with us. And if this is something that you are into, I haven't done an extensive literary search yet, but this link, which Alex has nicely shortened for us, this is a link to an article by AMS that is a very good place to just get in, just to dive in. It mentions a few books in here, and these are a couple of the books that, if you're interested, feel free to check them out. But from that article, you should be able to get to lots of different places. So we have Mathematics, Magic, and Mystery by Martin Gardner. This is probably the oldest one. And then this is in the 50s, I think, and then this one is in the 80s, Mathematical Magic Like an Assignment. So I'd be very shocked if the trick that we're going to do today is not in one of those two books. But like I said, I haven't done an extensive search. So it didn't actually mention the title of the trick. This is called the Final Three, or the Last Three. Has anyone heard of that? All right, that's awesome. So what we'll do first is we will show you the trick. And Molly here is going to play the role of the participant. So what would normally happen is you would have the participant pick any three cards that they want and make sure that they are easy to remember. And what do we have here? Aces. We have the three aces, the two black ones, and then the ace of hearts. That's just because it's easy to remember for us. And there's nothing up my sleeve. I'm going to tell you exactly how everything works, and what we're about to do is the setup. So this is the setup. All we do is we set out 14 cards. 1, 2, 3. You can take notes on whatever you think is important. 14, then how many?
15.
15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 14, 15, another 15. 14, 15, 15. And since you guys are all math, you should be able to tell me how many cards are in my hand.
5.
She's holding 3. There should be 5 left. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that we have a full deck. Oh, this is without the jokers and without any instruction cards. So 52 cards. We have just divided up the deck. 14, 15, 15, 5. Then the participant will do what? We will put one of their special cards on this pile, and then what they get to do is take the second pile, cut it wherever they want, and place it on top of the previous pile. And since you guys like algorithms, we're going to wash, rinse, and repeat. So we'll put the next card here, cut the third pile, and put it on top of the previous one. We have one special card left. We'll place this on the second pile, and then we're not going to cut anymore. We're just going to pick these up from last to first and place them on top. All right, that was the setup. That's it. Still nothing up my sleeve, right? Okay. Now, here's the procedure. What we're going to do is we're going to take the deck, we're going to flip up, down, up, down, up, down, always starting with up. And what you can do is you can tell the participant to tell me if you see your card. Since, stop me when you see your card. And you guys are pretty far away, so trust me.
Did we already pick a card?
We had the 3 aces.
Three at the very beginning. 3 of...
You can have them pick any 3 cards they want.
Can you tell us what they are?
Yeah.
The 2 black aces and the ace hearts.
Yep. And just let them pick any, hand them the deck. Give them any 3 cards that they think are easy to remember. Or it would also be fun to do this with 3 different people. Have them each pick a card in each, right? So that was the setup. So that's important. After the setup, we're just simply going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, and watch for our cards. Now we had the 2 red aces, and what was the black one? 2 black ones?
Ace of hearts.
And ace of hearts. Okay, so we're going to...
have an assistant.
Yes, exactly. Up, down, up, down. Up, down. This is the ace of diamonds, so that's not ours. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 down. Maybe Molly's faster at this than I am. Okay, up, down, and I ended it down because I started with up, and there was an even number of cards, right? Okay, so then they will have not seen any of their cards yet. We didn't see any, right?
That always happens?
Well,
That it always happens?
we'll see. That's the question. Then we pick up the what's left, the face down, and this is important. We again start with up. Always start with up. You want to do this one? And we're watching for those aces. Okay, that was 2 iterations, right? Still nothing. I'll do this one. Again, start with up. It doesn't matter where the last one ended. I think the last one was also an up. Maybe. I'm not sure.
No,
Always.
you had an even number of cards.
What?
You had an even number of cards at ended 26. So
Okay. Well, anyway.
This time it'll end on
This time it'll end on an up, and then the time after that we will still start up. The golden rule is when you pick up the face down cards, always start up. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Still nothing. And then at this point, 4 iterations in, we will have not seen any of the cards, but we have 3 left. There were 3 cards in the beginning. It's the ace of spades, ace of hearts, and the ace of clubs. So that was the trick.
All right, let's figure out how it works.
So yeah, we were trading magic tricks, and this one came up, and we said, let's figure out. So first, what I want to do.
Can we ask questions first before you explain?
Yeah, and I'll write some things that I want to at least focus on, and then I'll let you.
I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
The 3 special cards, when you put them in, the order you put them in, did that make a difference with the spade, the heart, and the club? Do you know which of the first cards you laid down was, of the 3?
I don't think we paid attention. But that's a good, maybe you can tell me.
I'm just very curious. Is that made a difference?
Our goal at the end of this is to
Okay.
understand everything about this trick. So what are some steps to do this? First, remember the setup. So the question is, what does the setup do? Okay, and we have our lovely Molly here to help you remember how the trick is done. If we can figure out what the setup does, maybe we can start to answer, of course, the big question everyone's asking, how will I? Does the trick work? And if we can answer this, what's another question we might want to ask? If I understand how this trick works, doing it this way, how could I vary it, right?
I'd like to know if the order is preserved. I'd like to know that with those last 3 cards, the same order they were laid down.
Well, then I hope you can tell me.
Okay.
So, what variations can we do? So our goal is complete understanding of this trick and to be able to answer all of these questions. So I will set you loose and we can help you, and we have cards. Who wants the one that we just used?
Sure, we'll take it.
These are already set. The aces are on the bottom. Here's the box.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see if we can answer these questions, starting with the first one, hopefully.
15th from the bottom.
Molly, what do you do with the first card? You put it on the top of the first deck?
The first one, put it on the.
Lonnie, you can't open the
On
card.
top of that first card.
Just roll the box. No, I'm just joking.
I just did, actually.
I would like to watch you do the setup again, if
Not
that's
14,
possible.
right?
We'll set it up for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
You know,
want
if
to-
you
I wrote down
can,
the instructions.
if you work through it yourself,
Well,
it'll help you remember it.
I need him to eyeball to make sure we have the
Yeah.
same setup.
We'll find out when we get done.
Well, that's not what I want to do. I want to make sure we have the same, I don't want to solve a different problem.
I'm guessing we'll either have it
You
work or
don't
it won't work
trust
at all.
our
I
judgment?
don't want to have the correct answer to a different problem. I don't want to do that.
Right, I know, but
Happens to me all the time.
Didn't you, weren't you taking notes?
I was, but I
Alright.
was forget.
Easy to remember, right? 1, 2, 3. We'll even have the order for it.
Okay.
1, 2,
There you
3.
go.
Okay.
Okay, you have 14
Alright.
cards.
These were not in order, so I'm not going to bother
This one's
shuffling a
on
whole
top
lot.
and it just doesn't make sense.
All right, let's come together for a minute. So I saw at least a few tables making some very strong observations. So if you guys want to come up and explain the observation you made.
I'll be your assistant. Oh, you shuffled in all the special cards. I did, well, rat.
I like the term special cards because that's just naturally what we ended up calling them. We kept saying special card, special card, special card all over.
Okay. So the first thing that we noticed was the piles don't really get split, even though you think they get split. So to illustrate that, I'm going to turn this one upside down this direction. I'm going to turn this one upside down this direction. So the first step was put the special card on top. So I'm going to do that. And then it was cut this guy in half.
So how many cards are currently below the first special card?
14.
14.
Okay.
Below the first special card?
Yeah. 14, 15, 14.
Below it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're good. Okay.
I'm not here to do anything, just making
And then we would cut this guy and put it on top. And wherever we cut it, it goes over here. And then the next step was to put a special card on top over here. And then we cut this guy and put it on top there. And then we put a special card on top. Oh, it doesn't matter. And then we put these guys there. But then when we put them back together, if you notice, one pile used to be all of these ones that are face up, facing the same direction, all vertical like this. When we put them back together, that pile just goes back on top of itself. So the 15
comes together.
The 15 comes together, and then same thing with my horizontal pile, it comes together again too. So the cutting is just an illusion to make you think that you're splitting up in an unknown way, but it actually goes back together.
That's great. Thank you. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, after the setup, what does it force the deck to look like? How many cards are end up on top?
5
Of
for the special.
so it'll be 5, then special, I'll say S1.
And then 15, then special.
And then 14. So we realized that that hocus pocus in the beginning was just a clever way of forcing the deck to look like this. So one answer to our question, how or why does the trick work, we could just say, well, the setup forces this arrangement, and this arrangement happens to be an arrangement that if I do up, down, up, down, up, down, I end up with the 3 special cards. So is that a satisfying answer? We now know how it works, right? It forces this arrangement, and this arrangement works.
Does that arrangement work if you don't always do it? If you don't have to do the first part of it?
No, because then it would be the opposite. Then they would all end up in the same stuff.
So now that we know how or why this works, maybe we are, maybe we aren't satisfied with this question. How can I try to understand this further, or leading into what kinds of variants can I do? Well, we know that the setup forces this arrangement, and this arrangement is such an arrangement that works. What's another question we can ask?
What other arrangements work?
What other arrangements works, and what are,
And why does that arrangement work?
why does this arrangement work, and what other arrangements work, and what some other variations we could do? So certainly if I change the arrangement, that's going to be a different variation. But also, what about the number of cards, the number of special cards? Do we have to do 3? Could I do less? Could I do more? So in particular, what we're talking about is an arrangement where I have the number of cards on top. I'll say T, S1 for special, and then I'll use N.